Okay, in this video, I will mainly talk about BTS Jin being the new face of Dongwon Tuna, 동원참치. But as always, I'll go a bit deeper and wider and talk about multiple things while exploring some photos and footage from this new campaign, the partnership that Dongwon has made with BTS Jin. But at the same time, I will talk about multiple things, including the backstory of the legendary track Super Chamchi, Super Tuna, which is Jin's solo project that I dearly loved. And then I will cover a bit of a Weverse Magazine post that told us about the backstory of the track. And then I will also talk about some Weverse posts and comments that Jin wrote. Especially in response to one of the fan comments, because I think it's pretty notable and tells us more about Jin's personalities. And in the very end, I'll make a connection to what Jin did and how he handled the situation on day one of his Anaheim concert. I think many of you have already seen footage like this. Okay, so let's start here. So, what began as a playful side project, half inside joke, half personal passion, has now come full circle. On July 22nd, Dongwon FMB, which is basically South Korea's leading and most well-known canned tuna brand, announced BTS Jin as the new face of 동원참치, Dongwon Tuna. I love this brand. Yeah, it's household name. If you ask somebody in Korea like what's the most well-known 참치 tuna brand, they would say Dongwon Chamchi, of course. Now, for casual observers, this might seem like a quirky, even random pairing. Like Jin with tuna. But for fans who know Jin's deep love of fishing and fish and seafood, and of course the unexpected cultural impact of his song Super Tuna, the partnership makes perfect sense. Jin's connection to fishing has long been part of his public persona. He has shared his passion for it on countless variety shows, and during BTS, downtime content like In the Soup. I think included the photos of that here. And he went out fishing with Suga also and Jungkook, if I remember correctly. But in 2021, he took a step further. So the legend goes, according to the Weverse Magazine post, Jin said that we don't have enough fun fishing songs to blast on the highway. I will attach a link to this magazine post so you can read it on your own. So naturally, he made one himself. But because it's Kim Seok-jin, he didn't write it in a studio. He wrote it while actually fishing. So he went out to sea with producer Bumsu, who's a producer under Playtest Entertainment, who mainly produces for 17, but he also partners and collaborates with other artists as well, right? So they traded ideas in between catching real fish, and boom, Super Chamchi, Super Tuna, the track was born. I think it took them like 5 minutes to find the melody and like lyrics and stuff. That process led them to the final melody in just 5 minutes. For his part, Bumsu found the approach unique, saying, "It was the first time in my life I worked on a song while fishing on a boat out at sea." And so apparently, Jin just wanted an excuse to go fishing with Bumsu, but the energy was so good, they ended up throwing fish sashimi and raspberry wine around the recording studio and got the staff to sing backup vocals, like a real 트로트 style sing-along. There we go. According to Bumsu, although the song didn't require anything overly technical, making a 트로트 song with comically B-grade sensibilities required an entirely new approach through trial and error. And then Yeah, that was enough for me. Super Tuna is a playful song that falls under the trust genre, and Jin put out tuna 회, sashimi, and 복분자, raspberry wine, at the 복분자주 at the recording to instill a lively atmosphere in the song. He also encouraged the staff who felt awkward meeting for the first time to join in the energetic group sing-along. I've never had a recording experience like that before, Pumzo said, painting a picture of the fun they had behind the scenes. I was laughing so much watching Seokjin directing the staff to sing with more energy in the chorus. Jin is good at that. He directed them really passionately. Then at the end said, "Okay everyone, if you nail this take, we can all go home." And all the staff members belted out, and in key too. Let's have fun and keep things light. That was so Jin. Anyway, also the choreography. Jin made the team simplify it over and over until literally anyone could do it. And he dropped the dance video on his birthday V-Live, thinking that it would be a quick laugh, but of course, Army said nope, and TikTok blew up. Even like government offices, fishermen, and like kids characters like Bororo joined in. And at one point, Jin basically begged fans to stop the trend, and naturally, it just got bigger. So that's how the world got to know this legendary track, Super Tuna. And of course, after Jin got discharged from the military, he made a full version out of it, including the second verse and the music video, official music video. And now, of course, Dongwon Tuna is teaming up with Jin. So they released a teaser video for the campaign with Super Tuna playing in the background. Right here. 기다렸다. 동원참치. This was great. Now this is expected to be a playful yet strategic campaign. The full commercial will be released on July 27th. 기다렸다 동원참치. I've been waiting for it. Dongwon Tuna is here. Super Tuna is coming. 2005, July 27th. With weekly short-form videos set to roll out throughout August across social platforms, according to Dongwon. Now, the campaign also includes limited edition BTS Jin edition tuna cans and collectible sticker packs. So that should be really fun. Let me see. So this is their official website. 12 kinds of different cans with 12 different photos of Jin attached. Wow, this is great. Stickers, yep, sticker packs. This is fun. What else? Yeah, so this will make Jin not only the spokesperson, but also part of the packaging itself. And according to Dongwon, this partnership is about more than just celebrity power. Like Jin's bright and cheerful energy and his well-known love of fishing align naturally with the brand's image of tuna as a high-protein, health-conscious food that appeals across generations, according to their press release. And fun fact, in Korea, people like give gifts to each other on like major holidays like Chuseok and 설날. And 참치, like canned tuna, is a classic example of like year-end gifts or holiday gifts. So I would feel glad if somebody gives Dongwon Tuna cans with Jin's photos attached. So great. Now, Jin's appointment, it comes with the massive, global recognition that BTS commands, of course. But Dongwon Tuna is already a dominant player in Korea's domestic market. And instead of focusing solely on expanding market share, the company now appears focused on reinvigorating the category and connecting with younger consumers by doing these campaigns. So by choosing a figure who blends global superstardom with down-to-earth charm like Jin. Dongwon seems to be repositioning tuna not just as a pantry staple, but as something culturally cool and fun. And I have enjoyed their campaign, and I think it's quite working. For example, here they even translate it in English. Heart pounding, a word of courage with me. Do you want to do high protein? Okay, I'm not sure if they have done the translation right though. A special meeting where high protein and a healthy mind will come together. D1 until the special meeting. Coming soon, a hint from Dongwon Tuna's new muse. Dongwon Tuna is high protein super tuna. Confession, will you accept it? Yeah, that sounds like a literal translation. And then the next day, on July 22nd, yes, thank you for accepting our confession, everyone. Finally revealing our new muse. I'll ask you again. Now you will all say yes, right? Do you want to high protein? 고단백 할래? Okay. Together with reliable high protein, let's create a healthier daily life from now on. Please take good care of us. Yes. Okay. And then they of course release this short teaser as well. And the fun fact, Dongwon Tuna, their Instagram account, is following only one account, and that is BTS Jin. Fantastic. Also, I have heard from fans and people that they have already started selling canned tunas with Jin's photos attached the day before. That is on July 21st. So that was pretty interesting. And then they released the official announcement the next day. So that was pretty cool. So that was that. I have already seen this Instagram and some photos, right? The package with the different stickers. Lovely photos. Okay. And this isn't just a brand deal, it's Jin turning a fishing joke into a viral moment, almost. And then into a full-on commercial collab, right? So first it was Jin loving fishing and loving fish, and then he turned a fishing joke into a viral moment through the legendary track Super Tuna, and then he turned that into a full-on commercial collab. So I don't know what kind of manifestation power that is, but I absolutely love it. Now let's talk about the Weverse interaction and communication that he did. So on the day that his first teaser ad with Dongwon Tuna dropped, Jin quietly logged into Weverse and just told fans that he had woken up at 10 p.m. at night and said, 내 시차, 밤 10시인데 이제 일어났다. My jet lag. I woke up at 10 p.m., he wrote, adding that he had only just gotten out of bed. And that means that, his sleeping pattern has messed up again. It's jet lagged. He's supposed to wake up in the morning, early in the morning, but instead he woke up way too early at night. Now, as a teaser video for Dongwon Tuna campaign and photos of BTS Jin edition tuna cans spread across the internet, a new wave of conversation had already begun online. Armies were celebrating the moment by posting, image compilations of Jin's brand deals. How do I see it? Yeah, right here. So for example, someone commented, Jin, posting photos of this ambassadorship, and Jin said, Super Tuna, Super Chamchi. I filmed this, or I did this a few months ago. Hoo hoo, hehe, laughing. And then somebody did this, image compilation of Jin's brand deals in the past and now on the current deals also, including Dongwon, Aigin, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce these brands, but yeah, there we go. I'll just show you. And he has a lot. Now, in one of the comments, a fan said they were proud of Jin. So proud of you, Seokjin. And he said, 열심히 살았구나. I guess I have lived a pretty hard-working life. I've been working hard. The subject is I. Okay? I have lived a pretty hard-working life. And it was a quiet reflection that said more than it seemed. But soon, some fans began stacking brand endorsements across all 7 members, all 7 BTS members, side by side like this. And while many of these posts were celebratory, others were pretty quick to point out how easily this could slip into comparison. You know what I'm saying? So the mood shifted a bit in some corner of the social media, and so did the tone of the conversation. And that's when Jin, true to character, responded with calm and thoughtful clarity. And he also chose humility over hype. So to a fan who had praised his accomplishment, he replied, 제가 많이 했을 뿐 애들 광고 다 수백 개씩 들어와 있어요. 단지 안 할 뿐. 왜냐면 저도 거절한 게 수십 개가 넘어서 저도 이제 지금 거에 최선을 다할 거라 더 안 받을 듯. 또 갑자기 마음에 드는 거 나오면 마음 바꾸겠지만. So he said, I just happened to do more recently. The other members get offered dozens, hundreds of ads too. They just choose not to do them. So his words weren't defensive. They were gentle, almost protective. And he continued, I have also turned down more than I can count. I think I'll be focusing on the ones I'm doing now. Probably won't take more, unless something really speaks to me later. So there was no ego in his words, just perspective. And rather than lean into the hype, Jin chose to protect the balance, to draw a line between pride and pressure. And his response was, I guess, a subtle reminder that BTS isn't like a leaderboard, and solo achievements don't need to be weighed against one another. And that's something I want to emphasize. And also, Jin wasn't chasing commercial deals or seeking to outshine his members. He was setting boundaries and making thoughtful choices and reminding fans, without scolding, that is, that BTS is not a competition. If anything, I think his tone echoed the same sincerity that defined his viral Super Tuna project. Do what it feels true and don't overthink it. And I like to believe that the fan posted images, comparing BTS members' brand deals weren't made with bad intentions. That's what I believe. But with the group as loved and as closely watched as BTS, even well-meaning comparisons can create tension, And I think Jin's words gently reset the room. He reminded everyone what BTS has always stood for, and that is mutual respect, individual freedom, and collective pride. And actually, Jin's quiet but firm tone on Weverse also reminded me of a moment from day one of his solo Run Seokjin EP tour concert in Anaheim. So as he walked along the barricade during the encore, interacting with fans, one person held on to his hand a bit too long. Now, check out what he did right there. Jin didn't yank away, didn't get flustered, but he simply paused, met the fan's eyes, and gently but deliberately pulled his hand away. And from this angle, Jin has boundaries and told his fan grabbing and holding on to him to back off. Gently though, right? Jin is known for clearly expressing his boundaries while still being respectful. Yeah, absolutely. And it was subtle, but unmistakable. He didn't break the mood or draw attention to it. But in that brief moment, Jin established a boundary with dignity. No conflict, no drama, just a calm assertion of self-respect, delivered with presence and quiet command. And I think that energy, that ability to say, this isn't okay, without needing to say anything at all, was kind of like echoed again in his Weverse comments. Where is it? That he wrote in response to this one. That was my perspective. When the conversation around brand endorsements started like veering toward comparison, Jin didn't call anyone out. He just corrected the narrative with grace, by saying something like, I just happened to do more recently. The members get dozens, if not hundreds, dozens and hundreds of offers. They just choose not to do them. So, what I want to say is that, while Jin is now quite literally the face of Korea's most iconic tuna brand, he hasn't lost sight of what matters. Not the number of contracts, not the rankings, but just showing up, doing his best and protecting his team and loving his fans. All right, so there you go. But I don't know, maybe your perspective and your response are different. So feel free to leave comments and discuss with each other. But when you do so, let's stay positive, respectful, and classy. Thank you guys. Peace and love. Bye-bye.